and right into the stretch. Looking back and throws up the middle. Rose is on his way around. Picked up by Otis.
Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the boom, ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the boom, ready or not. How you like me now?
You don't live in Cleveland, you live in Cincinnati.
You are watching live to the best damn Cincinnati sports podcast this side of the University of Washington. My name is Santori Miles. We got Cincy James, Big Savage Greg, and the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Dillon. How we doing?
Oh, man, it's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Let's get it started.
I'm doing great. Greg, you were going to say something?
No, welcome, Corey, and thank you so much.
No problem, man. Anytime, fellas.
Now we've got just a round table of questions, and we're just going to we'll rapid fire them to you. Obviously, everybody knows who Corey is. Bengal legend, all-time leading rusher for the Bengals. Also played for another team. We're not talking about that right now. But
yeah, we ain't got to jump into that right now.
But we're really excited to have you here. My son had a very specific question. You met him at Midwest Best and at the tailgate, but we'll just get started with an easy one. Why did you choose the number 28?
Dude, it wasn't long story, man. I didn't really choose it. It was just in my locker, dude. So, I mean, honest story, man, I really didn't have no say. I mean, I walked in and I see my name on the locker, and I'm like, oh, okay. So, jersey already hanging in there. I said, I guess I'm 28. So, you know what? I rocked with it, man, and shit, it did me good.
Right. Now, does that number hold a special place to you now?
It does, because you know what? Like, sitting there having a heart-to-heart with my mom, man, she started breaking stuff down to me. She was like, boy, don't you know, you were 28. I was 28 years old when I had you. I was in labor for 28 hours. And I was just like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? So it kind of clicked and registered like, man, it was God-given numbers. So, hey, I rocked with it, man. And it brought a different meaning to me after she spoke to me and told me those things. So it was cool. It's a cool number.
That's awesome, bringing it full circle.
Right.
Santori, what you got for him?
I've got some questions for a little further on.
Okay.
We'll wait till the discourse dives into some Bengal talk before we.
You're good, Greg. There. I know you've talked with him a lot with being on the different shows with him.
I have.
I'm sure you've got a question or 7 ready for him.
Okay, Corey. So the Bengals potentially could be looking for a new offensive coordinator. Damn pitcher, he could stay, but Zach calls the plays here. But pitcher could have the opportunity to go to another team and call other plays. If you're in his position right now, what would you do? Would you rather stay in Cincinnati and kind of like, coexist with Zach calling plays? Or would you go to an entire different team, maybe from scratch, but you get the keys to the car to call your own plays?
Dude, I'm just going to be kind of honest, man. Where you really going to go where you're calling plays and you're a contender, man? That's a big factor in making decisions, man. Dude, Cincinnati's always going to be in the mix of it, bro. So why disrupt that? I mean, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. I'm pretty sure he'll sit down and ponder those same thoughts, like where you gonna go, where do you want to go, and actually call plays just for a title, man. I'm more concerned about being in a good environment and winning games than going somewhere and calling my own shots.
For sure.
That's a good answer. I saw some stuff on Twitter the other day about a certain somebody, and they're telling me to ask, have you talked to your son AJ Dillon?
I knew that was coming, man. I knew it. Hey, man, I think he's kind of mad at me, man. I didn't send him a Christmas gift, so
For the last 25 years?
Yeah, for the last 25 years, man. Hey, the relationship is kind of rocky, man. I need to get in contact with them and mend those fences.
Right? Oh, God. I saw that and I had to throw
Yeah,
that out there.
Hey, listen, man, I get that often. You guys would be surprised, man.
Yeah.
It's funny.
And
So I do have one kind of piggybacking off what Greg was saying, going into the whole offensive coordinator stuff. For an offensive coordinator who's not calling the shots,
Right.
and obviously you've been around multiple different organizations, what is their day-to-day responsibility like?
Oh, wow. Well, preparing the game plan, man, to be honest with you. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into that, man. So, I mean, they're just not sitting around doing nothing. There's a lot of planning, a lot of discussions, going back and forth among the coordinators. So that job is pretty stressful, man. So it's not like you just sitting there with some headsets on, doing absolutely nothing. My point to it is this, man, like, dude, what better gig you gonna get than Cincinnati, man? That's what it boils down to. I mean, if you're gonna go, you gonna go somewhere to better yourself for money and all that, man. That's good. There's nobody holding you back from all that stuff. I mean, at the end of the day, man, I think rational about stuff and like, dude, I could go somewhere, call plays, and you know what? We lose a ton of games, and I just walked out of a perfect situation where I know we were going to win games and have a great opportunity to get into a Super Bowl and winning one. I'm not going to walk away from that one. So, I mean, the decision is his, man. He's a grown guy, grown man. Let me put it in another term, grown-ass man. You know what? And he's allowed to make whatever decision he wants to make without any gripes. But like I'm saying now, I know for a fact he gonna sit down and weigh all those options and see what happens, man. Hey, my bet and guess is that he stays.
My guess would be that pitcher stays here as well.
Right.
Part of it is because that when you talk about leaving for money, offensive coordinator is not one of those ones where you hear
Right.
contract details all the time.
Right.
It's probably pretty similar money wherever you're going.
Exactly.
So now we're getting away from the money and looking at what is that team offering? Well, Cincinnati offers Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and 2 AFC championship and a Super Bowl appearance in the last 3 to 4 years, which I was already a part of.
Right.
Or the Raiders, who are coming off of an interim coach who they've made their head coach. You do have familiarity there because I am aware that Marvin originally hired Dan Pitcher when he was here. But they don't necessarily have the firepower that you're looking for if you're wanting to call the shots.
Right.
I don't even know who their quarterback is going into next year.
Right. And that's big, man. I mean, personnel got a lot to do with how you call plays. So, like you said, I don't even know the quarterback for the Raiders right now. I have no clue. And you know what? They got some pretty great running back and great receiver, but man, that quarterback position is vital to any OC. So, yeah, it's gonna be. We'll see, man. We'll see. I'm gonna tell you, man. You'll learn a lot about somebody, man, on the decisions they make, bro. So if he actually takes off and goes to the Raiders, man, you know it's for the cash, man. You know it's for the cash, not necessarily about winning, because they haven't won in a long time, man. So and they're like they're in limbo, man. I don't know. They're good, but they can't get over that hump. So that's gonna be a lot of extra work. And like you said, man, who's walking away from Joe and Chase, man? And come on, that crew. Like, I know I wouldn't. So I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody's their own person. So hopefully my guy, stay put, man, and buckle in and try to get the squad to a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's good comments. And talking about a good running back, we've got one here in Joe Mixon.
Right.
He is 1,649 yards shy of your all-time Bengals rushing record. Tyler in the chat asks, do you think he will stick around long enough to be able to get that rushing record, to be able to pass you?
I don't know, man. I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be good for him, man. So it's tough. I don't know. I don't know his situation. I don't know what his contract situation is. But hopefully, like I said, man, it's all about keeping the core guys together, man, and he's part of the core guys, that bunch. So I don't see him going nowhere in the next couple of years. So hopefully in the next 1 to 2 years, yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll reach that accomplishment.
And real quick, what are your thoughts about Joe the runner? I know we talked about it a little bit at Midwest Best when we ate, but what do you feel about his game? Are there some similarities with your game? You know, kind of compare and contrast the two.
I think he's a little bit more shifty than I was. I mean, at some point, man, later stages of my career, man, I just became a bruiser, man, and did what I did best, get north and south, man. And I'd rather take on a defender and get an extra yardage than try to dodge around people, man. So that was just my mentality. Joe's a little bit more shiftier, a little bit more quicker. So he got the ability to make people miss, and he does a great job at what he does. So, I mean, it's all preference at this point, man. And at the end of the day, man, it's the same results. I did it my way and got good results, and he's doing it his way and getting great results as well.
Right. Greg, let's pivot to you.
Okay, we're all big nuts about the draft. The draft has just become so popular over the years. I have to ask you, what was the draft process like? I've heard players, they've been asked so many crazy questions. What was the draft process like? And were you aware the Bengals were interested in you?
No, not really, man. I think, this is actually what happened. This is my thing, man. So I was scheduled to go in the first round. I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't even know. Somebody call me and let me know. But after the first round was gone, man, I kind of fucking turned the TV off and was just like, man, the hell with this, man. So I was just kind of off to myself. I mean, full party going on around the house. And I mean, when my mom actually got the call, she had to check around, like, where the hell were you at? She had to send my brothers out to try to find me and shit. So they finally got a hold of me, man, and that was my draft party, brother. That's how it went. No, I'm serious. God honest truth.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Now, I'm probably going to steal one of Greg's questions here, but when you heard Cincinnati, what were the initial thoughts?
You know what? I didn't really care, man. My mind was like, I gotta go and ball and get established. That was the first thing on my mind. And then, you know, what kind of eased my thoughts was I knew my running back coach from Washington, he signed on earlier to Cincinnati. So it kind of eased things. I was like, at least I know somebody. And you know what? He was good for me at Washington. He'd give me some sound advice. And that's what he actually did, man. He, you know, as soon as I got there, we talked. And you know what? He just kind of walked me through the things of what I need to do to be a professional and stuff like that. And we took off running.
Now, was the decision between baseball and football a difficult one? Because you were drafted by the Padres, right?
Right. Yeah, that wasn't a hard decision at all, man. Because you know what? The thought of getting stuck in the minor leagues, dude, kind of freaked me out. I was just like, nah, bro, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? So it made football, you know, that much easier to choose because you know what? There's nothing I really need to work on, but hey, polish up my skills here and there, man. And I was already set and ready for the NFL. So it made that decision so simple, man. I was terrified of like being stuck in some farm league for 20 years and People will be like, what the hell happened to Dillon?
Right.
I'll probably be still playing right now, man. Still playing, trying to make it to the big league. So, dude, that was an easy choice for me.
Do you have a team that you follow right now? Or obviously we're big Reds fans here, but
Oh man, dude. No, not really. But I'm a homer, man. I'm from Seattle. I mean, so I watch the Manners, man, and I try to catch some Dodger games since I'm in California every blue moon. But I'm not really stuck on watching baseball all day, every day. I really don't have a team.
Okay. Greg?
We talked about this, Corey. Ken Griffey Jr., you got to grow up watching him. And I think you told me you were cool with him coming to Cincinnati because, hey, now I don't have to, I can just go right down the street and watch Griffey play. I mean, what was it like watching Griffey in Seattle? I mean, I just remember watching highlight after highlight with him. It was just so cool to see. What was it like watching Griffey?
Man, seeing this young kid, man, play ball like that was truly amazing, man. This dude he was awesome, man. He was inspiring. Like, he lifted the city, man. As a teenager, man, everybody, the buzz and hype around him, man, he lived up to expectations and surpassed that, man. So I was happy. I was happy for him in, making the Hall of Fame and getting all his accolades, man, because he earned it, man. He earned it. He's an icon in the sport.
Absolutely.
Now, Crypt has a question here. He's one of our loyal guys here. Growing up, who was that one player that did it for you? Your guy, your hero, that one player that that every touchdown he had, you loved.
You skipped a sentence there, James.
I sure did.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Hey, so here's a little history, man. My older brothers, they were Cowboy fans, so I had no other choice but to be a Cowboy fan. So I actually grew up watching Tony Dorsett all the time. And after the game, man, we used to go on the back street and play football, and I used to think I was Tony Dorsett, and every time I score, that's who I say I am. So, yeah, man, diehard Cowboy fan growing up. And Tony Dorsett, man, just the way he ran the ball and, his speed, and he was shifty. Great running back, man. Hall of Famer as well. So, hey, I try to steal a little something from him. It didn't work out for me. I wasn't that quick, but I still watched and took notes.
Do you still follow the Cowboys?
No. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
No.
I hate them. So I'm just
no, buddy. Nah. No. Hey, man, you know what? When you grow up, you grow up, man.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you grow up and then you get to make your own choices, man, and that's what happened. I haven't followed, dude. I ain't been in tune with the Cowboys since like '95, man. When they had Emmett and Michael Irvin and all those guys, man. When they were on their run, Super Bowl runs. After that, nah, I haven't really paid too much attention to the Cowboys.
Okay. Well,
they got problems right now.
They haven't done much since then, so maybe.
No.
Yeah, they ain't won one since '95. So, hey, do they still got a team? I don't know. They still there?
They don't show up, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
Oh, goodness. Santori, you got one?
I've got a kind of a schematic question for you, football-wise. I grew up watching you. You were the first running back I ever watched. I was gonna say sorry. I'll probably make you feel old, but I was born in '94. So the first years I ever watched, I think the first year I ever watched was when we had Marvin, because there was so much hype about getting Marvin. Okay. My dad was like, "All right, I don't care how old you are, you're watching." Right. So I was. That's when it was. So when I grew up, power football and fullbacks, and I love fullbacks.
Right.
I am sad that there is only like 2 or 3 active fullbacks.
Right.
If you were coaching a team, would you have one today?
Damn right. Exactly. Yes. Hell yeah. Man, I'm the power football is gonna come back in style, man. All this passing and all this glitter and glam over throwing the deep ball, man. At some point, man, it's gonna bite you in the ass. And if you watch any of these games last week, the running game propelled these teams to win.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't their passing game; it was the running game that won most of these games. So I don't know why they discrediting the running back, fullback position. It's probably to me, it's probably the second most important on the offense. You know, I throw the receivers in there at third or something like that. Yeah, hey, but dude, without a solid running game, man, you're not gonna win. You're not gonna win in this league, and you only could get away so long passing that ball before it catches up with you. Look at Kansas City, man. They had to run that ball to win the game.
Yep,
and that's what they did. Baltimore, they relied on their running. Their quarterback is all Superman, half man, half amazing. His feet won that game and that defense. So you could switch it over and look at San Francisco running the football. McCaffrey got them over the hump. Final minutes. So, and then you got to factor in weather. It's cold in some of these places, man. That ball is not going to fly the same, and you got to have a good running back. And for the most part, man, I'm seeing these teams lean on the ground game more than the passing game right now.
Well, I think I'll echo what you said. I think you're going to start seeing the power game, especially over the next 5 to 10 years, really start to come back. The NFL goes in cycles. This is not the first time we've seen air out offenses. I mean, go back to the 90s when you had in the early 2000s greatest show on turf. This is not the first time we've seen people throwing the ball 40 times a game. It just isn't. So what happens is the NFL is a reactionary league. In order to stop the pass, you have to get smaller, you have to get faster. At some point, you see with the Colts, they've got linebackers out there at 210.
Right.
If you've got linebackers at 210 so they can cover slot receivers and tight ends, at some point they're going to have a 260-pound fullback coming straight at them, and they're not going to be able to stop it. It's just going to go in a cycle. So it wouldn't surprise me, especially when you look at the draft this year. You've got kid coming out of Wisconsin, Allen. I don't know how up-to-date you are with some of these kids, but Allen's 245. The kid from Notre Dame is a truck.
Right.
It's at some point you're just not going to be able to hang with that.
Right.
And then defenses are going to have to get bigger.
That part. So, I mean, like you said, man, it goes in cycles, man. Dude, I would have been chomping at the bit seeing a 210 linebacker in my way. Are you kidding me?
That's a safety.
Oh, man, that would have been easy money, man. So, I swear. But, yeah, man, hopefully it comes back in style sooner than later, man. But you know what? It's a league thing, man. It's all passing for the most part, man. But you know, real football people know, hey, in order to win these games, man, you got to run that ball sometimes. So we'll see this week. We'll see this weekend coming up, man. I know Baltimore runs that ball heavy. They heavy on the run. So we'll see what Kansas City could do with them.
Yeah. Hey, Corey, this is actually James's sister right here in the comments, Ashley. She wants to know if you could pick one moment in your career that meant the most to you and you will always smile when thinking of it, what would it be?
Oh, man, I have a lot of great memories, dude, man. Oh, Lord. One.
Yeah.
Man. Hey, I'm a lump 3 in together, man. I got to. It's a must. So the record breaking, the 278, every time I see film on that, man, it gives me chills. And I still don't believe, I did that. So that's that part of it. Most definitely the 246 game as a rookie. Oh, I get chills watching that as well. And then actually winning the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't trump that. So those are the 3 things that stick out to me, like right off the bat. And you know what? Sometimes I get bored and go back and watch my own highlights, man, and be like, hey man, I keep it real. I keep it real. I go watch. I go back watch my own old highlights. It was like, damn, yeah, I was pretty good. I was okay.
That's great.
So, at what point against Denver did you realize I might break the single game record here?
Not until it was over, dude. Not until it was over. I didn't even know how many yards I had into that last run, and then I was coming off the sideline, and I looked at the scoreboard, and it was like 278. And in my head, I was like, no fucking way. That ain't that. No.
It's a typo.
Yeah, I was like, no, because you know what? I was so focused in and so pumped up, man, of trying to get that first win. It didn't even seem like I had that many yards at all. So that was a good day, man. I mean, that was our first win at Paul Brown Stadium, and then to top it off, to break a record along with that was pretty damn cool.
So to piggyback, when Jamal Lewis was getting ready to break it, were you paying attention, or what did that feel like?
What? I think we were actually playing the Raiders, man. I was trying to keep the Raiders off my ass.
So we were the 4:00 game that game, because I remember walking into a sports bar when I was a kid, and I didn't know, because I was still a kid, that you had the single game record at the time. And I just remember sitting at the bar, and my dad's fuming, and I'm like, "What are you so upset about?" And he was like, "This asshole's about to break Corey's record." All right.
I'm realistic, man. People didn't think anybody was gonna break it from Walter. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And here come my meathead self, and I do it, right? And then you know what? About 3 years later, 2 or 3 years later, Jamal does it. But you know what? I always say records are meant to be broken. Obvious. And second of all, man, you know what? I'm gonna hold on to mine, man, because I did it in a fashion that is unreal. I mean, 12 some yards per carry against the top rated defense. I want to say at least 8 of my carries of those 22 carries were for loss. So if you really break that down, that's like 12 carries for 14 or 16 carries for 278. And if I'm not mistaken, he did it against weak Cleveland. So hey, it is what it is. The bottom of the barrel Cleveland. He did it against them. So hey, it is what it is.
That means we gotta get Jamal Lewis on here with you, and you guys can hash it
out.
No.
Everybody gonna cuss me out about that. Hey, man, when I tell his ass, man, mine was more spectacular. You can have it. I don't give a damn.
So, speaking of the Ravens and Jamal Lewis,
right?
There's another Lewis that they had, Ray.
Yeah.
What was that like, lining up in a box and just seeing him staring straight across?
Bruh, it's gonna be all day. It's gonna be an all-day collision. Yeah. I'm not taking a play off. His ass ain't taking a play off. And it's just like it's man versus man. You know what I mean? And he won a lot of those fucking battles, team-wise. But you know what? I know for a fact he ain't got to say it, but I gained this. He respects the shit out of me, man. And I know that for a fact, man. I'm not one of them running backs that balled up and fell on the ground when he came. Man, it is what it is. I want all the smoke. Let's do it.
Collisions. Yes.
Yeah. So, hey, man, I won my share too. So, hey, there's a reason he's a Hall of Famer, man. He played the game the right way, and shit, those were some good battles, man. Those were some good ass battles, man. I'm so glad my ass is retired, and I ain't got to put no pads on no more and do that again. Nah,
right.
I'm good.
I've always kind of joked, because I'm not in shape, but I am about 270. That I would take one hit from a linebacker. I guarantee you I wouldn't get up, but I would be willing to take a hit for a linebacker for some money. However, I have always said it can't be Ray Lewis. Not only would I not get up, I wouldn't be breathing.
Yeah. I tell you what, man, there's two linebackers I had to be aware of at all times. Ray Lewis is one, and Julius Sayles the next one.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
And you want to talk about two animal linebackers? Yeah, man, they brought that smoke every time. So, hey, man, getting 100 yards against them, man, wasn't easy. Wasn't easy at all.
Yeah, goodness gracious. Well, there have been, speaking of Hall of Fame and that kind of stuff, quite a few people in the chat saying Corey Dillon for Bengals Ring of Honor in 2024. There's been several of these. To piggyback off of those comments, you came back to Cincinnati this past season. I know there were some mixed emotions, but then afterwards, give us your feeling after feeling the love from just so many people.
Dude, that's what it's about, man. It's about forgiveness and moving on, moving forward, not hanging on to the past, and you know what? Seeing eye to eye, man. I feel a conversation can solve anything. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was priceless coming back and receiving the love from the fans and just the normal people in the city, man. That was something I will never forget. And hopefully, man, listen, this whole thing is in the power of the fans. You know what I mean? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. It could be ownership. The fans control the voting. I would say this to the fans: you have an opportunity to do something that is great and well deserved. There's a lot of us that should be in there. I mean, a lot of us that should be in there. You guys had the power to make things happen. Without hearsay, pointing fingers, you guys had the power to veto all that stuff and put some athletes in their proper place. So hopefully, I'm gonna pray on it, and hopefully everything turns out fine. If I get in, amazing. If I don't, it's still hope. You know what I mean? So, hey, we just got to see. But you know what? To the fans out there and you guys, man, you guys are in a great position to actually make a lot of change and a lot of negativity go away. You know what I mean? So on that point, man, let's hope everything turns out fine and go my way one time. You know what I mean? And everybody can move forward.
I know you won over a lot of people.
Yes.
There's several people in our group chat I know that you've won over.
Right.
One of them is sitting right here.
There's a pork chop guy named Pork Chop.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Man. Let me tell you about this dude, man. He was mother effing Corey Dillon. Hey man, I'm on the show with him for the first time. It was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, Corey. I was motherfuck you, Corey Dillon. I was like, dang. I said, man, dude, it ain't that serious.
Yeah, he Pork Chop and I are very close.
Yeah. And for him to say, you know what, you won me over, man. I kind of understand where you're coming from, and just hearing you speak,
right,
kind of changed my mind about you, man. That's what it's all about,
right?
Well, and he and I very much shared the same sentiment because there
you was motherfucking me too, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie because when one of the first times Greg was like, "Hey, do you want to have Corey on the show?" I was like, "Fuck no!" Like I was like, I was like, let's see how it plays out on these other shows. I want to meet him in person, see what this is like. I said, because you know what? I was a kid. This was 20 years ago,
right? When
I was getting upset. You know, you were a grown-ass man, and I was like 8. Like, there's probably a little bit of a difference in what we were perceiving in reality.
Exactly.
At the time. You know, you come down to the tailgate, you're having a great time. You treat me and my family, good as gold. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I had the situation a little bit wrong. And, I start reading into it. And I watched your interview with Pork Chop, and he and I are very close friends. I was like, all right, maybe I need to give Corey a chance here. Maybe I was just a pissed off fan. And, because a lot of times, especially back in 2003, 2004, there is no Twitter. There's no Facebook. There's no social media. There's no way for you and I to have this conversation, or for you and Pork Chop to have that conversation of what was really going on.
Right.
It's, whatever they decide to put in the papers and whatever they put on ESPN.
Yes.
And then I have to take that for truth, which I don't think anybody takes ESPN for truth anymore. So it is nice to have this level of conversation. But yeah, I was definitely one of those people that were like, man, I don't want to deal with this. Like, this is
right.
So you've won me over for sure.
And it goes back to conversation, man. It's a conversation can kill a lot of nonsense, bro. And I get it, man. I mean, for all my career there, all you see me is being upset and appear to be acting an ass. I get that part of it. You know what I mean? But there's deeper stuff behind those actions, man. And hopefully I cleared some of that stuff up. And like I said, man, I could have did shit a lot better back then too. I was young. I was a young dude, ambitious, focused on winning and frustrated, man. That shit kind of it'll make you act a little crazy sometimes, man. So me, the 49-year-old version compared to the 24-year-old it's night and day. It's a whole different, you know what I mean? So I had a lot of growing to do.
I'm 29 now, and I can think back to 5 years ago when I was 25 and I was coaching high school ball.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I said some nasty shit to some of those kids as a coach. and then I can remember, and you might think this is funny. I wasn't the best athlete in high school, but I was on the bowling team.
There it is.
I got in a fight in the middle of a match in high school, and they had to pull two kids apart, and I'm throwing haymakers in the freaking pit. So I'm sitting there looking back at my past self. I'm like, I don't know if I can say shit. I threw a punch in a bowling match.
And man, but it's okay though. That's what I'm saying. It's like we as humans, man, we all make mistakes, dude.
Right.
I'm nowhere close to fucking perfect. I'm a work in progress every freaking day.
Right.
And you know what? Yeah, sometimes everybody gets emotional sometimes, man, especially when you're putting your life on the line, your health, shit is crucial. I took playing football very, very serious, man. And I don't think most people don't know these facts about me, man. I fucking hate losing, dude. That is one thing I can't accept. And I think I was telling this story to somebody else, and I was just like, before I got to the Bengals, from college, from high school, well, I don't even want to go back. I'll go back to Pop Warner, to high school, to college. Dude, I could count how many losses I have on probably seven losses total in that whole span. So yeah, man, taking L's to me was like, it was frustrating, man. So, and like I said, man, hey, if I had the calmness and the mindset I got now back then, probably, I would have handled it different. You know what I mean? So a lot different, but shit.
Well, no, Corey,
it is what it is.
Well, Corey, like as an athlete, like, they constantly have cameras following them. They could catch you at your worst time. You could be in the worst mood after a loss. Like, I think about where I work at my job. There's coworkers I've gotten into fights with, and I could just imagine. I'm like, wow, say if a camera followed me around saying, "Hey, Greg, how did it feel if you get into a fight with a coworker?" I'm like,
right.
How does it sound?
You know what? I'm glad it wasn't no damn social media back when I played, because it would have been
right.
I would have been fucked up.
Fine after fine after fine.
Oh, it would have been, hey man, it would have been bad. So
right.
To be fair, though,
I'm glad See, and it was it's good for me though. It was good for me
Right.
because you know what? All I had to do was just focus on football. That's what I was doing anyway. You know what I mean? I don't have to worry about likes and who's saying what, or
Right.
I had none of those worries.
Right.
To be fair, though,
it worked out pretty good.
if we had social media in your time, Ocho's media pages when he played would have been the best thing to follow.
Right.
Right.
They're good now, but like, could you imagine if we'd have had Twitter when he sent Pepto to the Browns? Like, that would have been
Oh my God.
that'd have been the best.
Oh
Hey,
my God.
Pork Chop's in the chat. He said, "Who they to the hospital?"
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Hey man, I don't appreciate you talking about my ludicrous sideburns yesterday, man. That was Hey, you said they look like Nike swooshes, man. What's up? I thought we were good. Chris, what's the deal, man?
Oh my!
Oh, man.
That's great.
Oh man.
Piggybacking on the just the experience in Cincinnati.
Right.
Has anybody from the front office contacted you after that whole weekend that you were in town? Anybody reach out?
No, not at all. Not at all. And to be frank, man, I wasn't expecting them to. You know what I mean? That wasn't my purpose of coming down there anyway. You know, I got to meet Savage and Cap and you guys and Jeff. Man, that was my main focus of coming down there in the first place. I wasn't there to run up in the front office and be like, hey, look, I was there to meet my new friends, enjoy a good game, man, and that was it. That was my whole focus, and we did that, man, and shoot, we've been rocking ever since, man, and it's been cool. So I got exactly what I wanted coming down there to Cincinnati, man. It was a great time. Met some new, amazing people, man, and some new friends, man. That's what it's about.
We had a 2 tailgate span where we had Corey Dillon at a tailgate with Midwest Best Barbecue.
Right.
And then we had YB Assad filming a music video at our tailgate in a 2-week span. And we're like, we can't top this ever. What are we doing here?
I brought that good vibe, brother. I mean, I brought some energy down there, man. You can't. That's our parking lot. I'm there every time I come back.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, is what is it? Lot 4?
Lot 1.
Lot 1.
Oh well, shit! I would have been lost. I'm glad y'all cleared that up.
So, Corey, can we count on you for coming to a game next year again?
You damn right.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Man, I told you, Sav. I'm making it every year from here on out, man. I'm gonna come check out a game.
Awesome.
That's just me.
That's awesome. That's good news to any Bengal fan.
Yeah.
We'll blow it up. As long as you don't care, we'll tell everybody you're coming, and lot 1 will be crazy.
Oh man, I'm in lot 1. I had a great time. Trust me. I had fun. It was a nice experience.
Yeah. I'm pumped now.
And hopefully we'll try to schedule if you get Midwest Barbecue to cater again for us too. I think you can vouch how awesome Midwest Best Barbecue was, right?
Man, I can't wait. I mean, I'm gonna lose about 5-6 pounds just so I can eat.
This man right here,
man, I'm going in on it. It's good.
This man at Midwest Best, he ordered 30 wings. He ordered like 3 things of mac and cheese. He had the beans, like the baked beans. He had the green beans. I think one of everything you had. At least.
Hey man, I'm a foodie, bro. I gotta.
You're just like trying this one now.
Man.
You gotta try everything, man.
I had to try everything. I ain't been back in years, man. I'm like, shit. Let me try it out. Let me check this out. It was awesome too, man. Their food is delicious. I can't wait to get
close to Loveland, or you were right around Loveland, right?
Man, I stayed in Loveland.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so I was it's kind of home. You know what I mean?
Right. Say what do you got there, brother? You look like you got something.
I was just gonna say, this sounds really creepy. I think I remember the neighborhood he lived in. It was near Sims. I believe, because it was down the street.
It was a little gated community, man. Like
Mhm.
right off the road, man. It was like I stayed in
It's like you went over like a little creek off to the
man,
right.
how did you know that? Yeah. Yeah, that is creepy.
Because I live down the street.
Man, how did you know that? Absolutely. That was it. Yeah, that was it.
So
That was it.
Corey Dillon's never coming on the show now.
No. I mean, this is.
Sorry.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, Marshall said it, stalker.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, you guys are crazy, man.
Also love the red couch you had on the second floor, by the way. It's beautiful.
Hey, man. Hey, man. Somebody. Hey, you guys was in the crib when I went there. What's going on, man?
Apparently so.
What the hell? Hey, that's for another show. We'll get to that.
Yeah, there we go. Greg, what do you got there, brother?
What was I going to say? Like Corey, what was your take on the banks? Like, how much of the city of Cincinnati has changed in your opinion over the years? Like the banks, you were just so amazed by the banks because we keep forgetting that's where Synergy Field used to be. You're like, you know what? This is where I scored my touchdown, probably right here, where we're at the Holy Grail or at the hotel. Yeah,
I'm so impressed on how much Cincinnati done grown, man. It was. Hey, you gotta. When I was there was none of that. I mean, any of that along those banks, man, and actually see it looking so nice and everything's up, man. It was total. It shocked me. I was like, damn, Cincinnati done grown and it looks real good. Not that it wasn't looking good before. I'm just saying it just expanded and grew and along those banks they're putting up nice stuff. So man, it was good to see, man.
absolutely.
Yeah, so we've got a new partnership that we are very proud to talk about. I know Greg had kind of mentioned it maybe briefly to you. It is called Project Game-Dey.
Okay.
And the premise for Project Game-Dey is to get either an adult with special needs or a military veteran to their first Bengals game, a game they've never been able to go to. So, we are in the process of raising money to make that happen. We've already had tickets donated to where we can make some of these games happen. We're having a draft event on April 26th at Midwest Best. They're actually going to stay open late for us to be able to do this. We're going to have Cincy hat there too. It's going to be a good time. But we're really excited to be a part of this. Our brothers over at Bengals and Brews are there too. Kieran Horn, Bengals and Bourbon, who was kind of his brainchild a little bit there. And then Houday Joe. All those guys, we're all kind of involved in it. But Greg mentioned you might be able to make it.
Yes, man. Let's schedule free, cleared, man. I'm gonna get down there, man. I will get down there and support the cause, man. Obviously, it's a great cause, man. That's amazing and that's dope what you guys are doing. I like that, man. So, and it's a good cause, man. I'm trying my hardest. I'm gonna make that date. You can pencil me in. I'm gonna try my hardest to get my big ass down there.
Well, it's pretty cool. We've got a lot of people that are donating stuff that we can do like a silent auction with. So we've got Jamar Chase signed football already.
It's a nice one too.
Yeah,
it's a white autograph football, only Jamar Chase right centered in the middle of it.
Yep,
that's dope, man.
We've got a poster from the Taste of the Bengals. It's got every Bengal signature on it except for Joe and Jamar. It's got T. It's got Joe Mixon, Ted Carrick, Logan Wilson's got everybody on it. We're donating bourbon that you can bid on or get a raffle ticket and put it in there. Talking about like Blanton's and Eagle Rare and Weller Special Reserve, that kind of stuff that harder to get. But we got a lot of stuff being donated. It's going to be a good time. Cincy hat is going to be there selling.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah,
we're going to be selling their hats too. Tim and Nicole with Midwest Best, they're actually, if I'm not mistaken, they're coming up with an actual menu
Yeah.
For us. So you pay $5 to get in, and then we haven't discussed exactly how much the ticket's going to be for the food, but that'll take care of all your food, and I believe there might be a drink ticket or two involved with that as well. So it's going to be a good time. We're really excited, and to hear that you're going to pencil it in, that makes it even more exciting.
Yeah, man. I'm like I said, man. Good cause, man. Hey, hell, count me in.
Pork chop. I didn't proofread.
Oh, here we go.
So you get here for the draft show at Midwest Best. Greg is taking both of us out for a chip cheese sandwich at Daylily. Ted Harris's favorite sandwich in the world.
Corey, let me I'll give you a background over this. I lost a bet to Pork Chop. I thought Joe Burrow was going to sign his contract extension by Monday, August something by 4:24 p.m. He didn't, and I owed him a chopped cheese sandwich. I offered him the money. He's like, "No, Greg, we're supposed to go together, and you have to watch me eat the sandwich." I'm like, "Chop, are you serious?"
I love the amount of bets that Greg makes and loses constantly.
I lose constantly. Yeah,
you still owe me La Rosa's.
I've offered you, buddy. That you like Greg, but I think you just felt sorry for me and all that and stuff.
Well, Corey, this man, I don't know if you know who Josh Wiley is. He's one of the tight ends for the Titans. He's from Cincinnati, played at UC, and was from LaSalle High School. I was lucky enough to coach Josh when he was in high school. He was one of mine in the year we won a championship there. And he's like, "Oh, Greg's like convinced he's going to go in the third round." I'm like, I think I've got some feelers out there that's saying day 3, Greg. He's like, "Nope, he's gonna go before pick 100, I swear." And I'm like, "Greg, please listen to me on this one."
No.
So I'm not trying to play the coach card, but he was mine. I know what he can and can't do. Let's go day 3. And he's like, "No, we're gonna put La Rosa's on it." All right, I'll take a free meal. He still owes me La Rosa's.
But I've offered to take you to La Rosa's to Santori. We've had this discussion.
Hey, Savage, you gotta settle your debt and bets, brother.
Yeah, I know. No, I know, man. Dude, I know. And Chop, he has never let me hear the end of it, man. You know, Chop, man, he's not going to forget. I literally said to Chop, "Here's the money." He's like, "No, Greg, we're supposed to go on a date together." And
date? What is going on?
That's what he said.
Stop would term it that way.
Didn't you also lose a skee ball bet to James' son?
Yeah,
his son Mason, who you met that one time, his son does not forget a single thing. I have lost so much money to him. He's cleared out my bank account.
He owes like a grand to this 10-year-old.
I got some advice for you for 2024.
What's that?
No more bets, bro. No more.
You know what? That's probably not a bad idea, Corey. That's probably not a bad idea.
Hey, no more bets. Then you ain't got to worry about nothing, man.
There you go.
That's very true.
That's probably not a bad idea, but yeah, I just get. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I do have one final question, and this is more on the Patriots end than anything.
Oh Lord, let's get it.
No, this should be an easy one.
Okay.
I as billions probably have also the same sentiment that I do. I have just so much respect for Tom Brady. What was that like playing with Tom?
Oh man, dude, have you ever felt you was around the perfect person?
No.
That's Tom Brady, man. Hey man, hey, I can't even fool myself to say something bad about this guy because I can't. There's nothing bad about him, and I'm thinking, man, there's nobody that damn perfect, man. This dude is damn near perfect, man. I mean, the coolest guy, nicest guy you ever want to meet, man. He's humble as hell, great leader, great competitor, man. So it's easy to go out there and give it your all, you know, when you see your quarterback fired up and inspiring you to make plays, man. So I mean, I get asked that question a lot. How's Tom Brady, man? And it's just like, shit, man. Like I can't even make up shit about him. I can't even. So that's how good of a person he is. So, well, hey, everything you hear about him is true, man. It's true, man. He's just a good dude all the way around.
Also, I want to piggyback off that too. Bill Belichick leaving the Patriots square. What was your take on that? And what is your take on Bill Belichick as a coach?
Oh man, far as X's and O's, man, that's one of the greatest coaches to put a game plan together, man. So I got an opportunity to witness that stuff firsthand, and just his game planning, man, and putting you in the right position to, go out there and win football games, man, is amazing. So, and I get the question a lot. I mean, it breaks down to, was it Bill? Was it Brady? And man, I'm just saying, like, Brady wouldn't have got there without that dude as well. So, you know what I mean? So it goes hand in hand. And then, you know what? To all the field soldiers like myself, they needed our ass too. So, I mean, it's a collective dynasty down there with interchangeable parts. Everybody has their time and moment in those dynasties, man. I mean, shit, you could bring up Gronk. You think he gets some of those championships without Gronk? I don't think so. So, like, everybody has their part in greatness in that organization. And you know what? And the crazy thing about it is none of us really mind them having the ultimate shine about the whole thing, man, because, they'll tell you out of their own mouth, like, they didn't get there without everybody. So I think it's just a media thing where it's a debate of who's this and that, but among people who've been there and helped win them championships, man, we know it was a collective thing between everybody that actually got those championships. So that's my take on it.
Hey, Pork Chop said they're missing a ring without you too.
Yep.
See, I mean, that could be true. I don't know. See, and that's the point I'm trying to drive home, man. It wouldn't have got done without me or somebody else, the Kevin Falks of the world, So, dude, it took a team. It takes a team to win a championship, man, and great instruction. So, and we had that. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it. We needed each other. I'm gonna leave it at that. We needed each other to win.
That's a good way.
Bottom line.
Well, that's all I really got on the Tom Brady thing. I feel compelled to tell one small story about Brady. This is just from my personal point of view. But this was probably 8 or 9 years ago. It was the we're on to Cincinnati game where the Patriots had started 2-2. They just got their ass beat. And Bill's just saying, we're on to Cincinnati. That presser that everybody remembers.
Right.
Well, my ass went to that game in Foxborough, and I was feeling kind of confident. I think the Bengals were like 3-1 at the time, or we were 4-0. We're feeling good.
Right.
Andy and AJ, everything's clicking.
Right.
And I remember walking in the main gate to Gillette, and they have the Jumbotron on the opposite end of the end zone, and they showed Tom Brady running out through the smoke in the tunnel, and he just had that ultra-focused, almost pissed-off look in his eye that I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That guy, yeah.
And I looked at my dad, and I went, oh, we're fucked. I was like, this is a problem. We ain't even got the stadium yet. And I'm like, this is a problem.
Yeah.
All you saw in the Jumbotron were those two just ultra-focused Tom Brady eyes, and I was like, uh-oh.
Oh, man, that's that guy to the T, man. This dude, at them pregame warm-ups, man, you gotta watch yourself around there. He'll headbutt you and hey, damn near give you a concussion, man. That dude, game day, he's something different, man. He's something different.
I believe it. I saw 10, maybe not even 10, 2 seconds of it on a Jumbotron from 300 yards away, and I was like, oh.
Hey,
nope.
so it's going to be a long one, right?
I think we lost by 30, and then I had to take that stupid-ass train back through the woods. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not. Oh, my God. That was terrible. I'm sitting there in an Andy Dalton jersey with a bunch of drunk Bostonians after just getting my ass handed to me. That was a terrible train ride back.
Oh my, hey man, that's too funny, man. That's too funny.
What I remember when they lost that one game before Cincinnati, Belichick. Someone asked Belichick, "Are you going to reconsider the quarterback situation, like by benching Brady or something?" And I'll never forget the look on his face. He's like, he didn't even like respond. He's like, "Next question."
Not even worthy.
Hey, but you know what's funny, man? This is. Hey, I don't watch them over the years too, man. Get on camera and just be, plain, right? You know what I mean? No emotions whatsoever. Man, if you ever sat in a team meeting room with this dude, you would be on the fucking ground laughing. He say the funniest shit ever. And man, I tell you, man, there's been so many times the running back coach, he used to sit behind me. He used to tap me on the shoulder like, "Come on, Corey, quit laughing," because he would say some of the crazy out of left field shit ever. And then one time he caught me laughing, and I was cracking up. I was like, "Fucking, what you gonna do? Fine me? You have to. I don't care." I was laughing that hard, and he just looked at me, and he kind of gave me a smile, like, "Yeah, that was funny." So, you know what I mean? And he went on in the team meeting, man. But you just had to be there, man, to see his personality. I know it seemed kind of dry from a distance, but that dude got a great sense of humor, man.
Well, I 100% believe that, and one of the things I always point to when I tell people, because I've had this same conversation this week, where I said I thought Belichick was probably a pretty funny guy, was the year they had the draft at home at COVID. I don't know if you watched the draft that year or not, but they had all the cameras set up in all the coaches' houses. Well, they panned to Belichick when they were on the clock getting ready to pick, and he had been sitting at his computer all day. It wasn't him. He put his dog there. So they pan over, and it's just this damn dog sitting in front of a computer.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Jeff wants to know what we're up to.
Oh,
strawberry ice.
Hey, soft eye Jeff. Jeff with the soft eyes. You know. Hey man, let me give you this one. So when I went back down and I seen Bill for the last time down there, me and him had a good laugh. He was like, "You know what?" He's like, Hey, Dillon, you think you can still get me a yard? Go put on your uniform." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not putting on no damn uniform." He said, "But I still got your pads in there, man. If you could get us a yard, we need you." And I just looked at him like, "Dude, you got to be kidding me, dude." I said, "Hell to the no, coach." Me and him laughed so hard about that shit, but it was good. It was good getting down there and seeing him, man, and interacting with him. Shit, I didn't believe that was coming. I thought he did give him at least a couple more years to do his thing. So I'm happy I got down there and seen him before he took off, man.
How many yards do you think you could get in a game right now?
2.
Because you're still. I mean,
hey man, I'll go 30 for 2 right now.
30 for 2.
One of the things I used to always say.
Get 4.
Yeah. One of the things. Oh.
Hey, in my mind, I'm saying I got 120 in me, right? But 2. Let's keep it real. 30 for 2. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I always, whenever the Bengals would start getting stuffed at the line, for whatever reason, the line my dad used to always say, he's like, "I don't understand it. You're 2 yards tall. Get to the line and fall forward." And then I start coaching, I start watching film,
right.
And you finally get that end zone camera, and I'm like, there's nowhere to fucking fall.
That part, right?
You can't just fall forward.
Hey man, it's tough sledding. Hey, being a running back, man, you are constantly in action every play. If you're not picking up a blitz or running a route, it's constant action, man. And for that job to be, or that position to be minimized nowadays, it's crazy, man. I mean, much love to all the running backs out there that's still grinding and getting it done, man.
Do you have a favorite out there right now?
Hey man, I feel like I'm the Godfather, man. All of them is good, man. Everybody out there, man. Of course, mixing, and you got the kid from the Colts. I forgot his name.
Jonathan Taylor.
Taylor's nice with it. Then we got the young kid from, well, he ain't young. Kid from Kansas City's pretty good. Pacheco, he's good. There was somebody else I just seen over this weekend.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
I like Cook. I like Cook for the Ravens. That kid, they used to play for Minnesota. I think he was pretty dope. Yeah, man. It's just, you know what, at this point in moment, man, I like them all because I see what they're trying to do with that position, man. I got to support everybody, man.
Absolutely.
They're all of them is good to me, man. They all put in work. Absolutely.
Well, I got one more.
Okay.
So talking about putting in work, you told me when we were eating that you said Thursday was the day when you started to feel better.
Right.
During the week. How to piggyback on that, how important is training camp for you to get you back in that game shape?
Oh, it's crucial, man. There's a different it's game speed is different, man. You're not just gonna come off the street and expect to go out there and think you're gonna have a sweet game. It doesn't work like that. So every time I see somebody sitting out training camp and they're coming in late, man, it's a bad formula. It's not a formula for success. So getting those reps in and adapting, making your body adapt to the conditions of training camp, man, you just got to do it. It's a must, man. And then it gets you prepared for that long, grueling season. So I know a lot of people like to try to skip some of that time like they don't need it. Man, you need that time, man. You need that time. I mean, I think the only time I kind of missed was like if I was in a contract dispute. But other than that, man, my ass was in training camp. Hey, old school, 2-a-days, sweating. Damn, they had to be dragged off the field. It was, hey, you so exhausted.
Yep.
But you know what? That prepared you for that season, man, and all the work you had to do. So I wouldn't get that up for anything, man. I hopefully these young men get that in their mental, like, man, you really need that stuff, man. It'll pay off in the end.
Yeah, Corey, how important is the preseason? A lot of coaches choose to sit their starters for the preseason. What's your take on the preseason? Should starters be playing the preseason more, in your opinion?
I mean, the old format, we used to play 4 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a veteran, man, I would say at least get some active work in at least 2 of those, bro. Like at least two to three quarters in each of those, just to get that game speed and get that feeling. And then you know what? Hey, I know some of us got to be protected, bro. Now, hey, I wouldn't put Joe in shit coming up.
Right.
Not a damn thing.
I don't think the issue is Joe. I think it's the fact that
don't do it. Let him do it.
I'm good. I don't ever need to see Joe take a snap in preseason. I know what Joe can do.
Hey, if anything, the last preseason game, man, give him a quarter, man. We need him, bro.
Right.
Give him a quarter and shit. He's the exemption on what I'm saying. We need him for the long haul.
There's always an exception to the rule.
That part. He's exception to the rule.
Our main concern is that for whatever reason, and I say that tongue-in-cheek because I vastly disagree with it, we refuse to play our offensive line in the preseason for the last 3 years.
No, see, they got to get out.
And you wonder why they don't gel for the first 3 to 4 weeks, because it takes most teams take September to figure things out.
Right.
But they've already had 2 to 3 weeks of some kind of hitting, right? Some kind of, even if it's in preseason and someone runs a stunt from a 3-tech all the way to the backside of a wide 9, you've at least seen that. You don't see that if you don't do it. You might see it on film, but there's a difference between seeing it on film and actually doing it. I've seen stunts on film all day. If you put my ass at right guard right now, shit ain't going to happen. However, for whatever reason, the Bengals don't play their offensive line in preseason at all.
None of them?
Joe, I think our right tackle played half of one game last year. None of them get reps in the preseason.
Hey man, they got to get their ass out there.
And then you've got the situation. I'm 100% with you. So now you've got the situation last year where Joe's coming into the season with a bad calf and can barely move, and 4 of his 5 offensive linemen are taking their first snap with a hurt Joe Burrow. And you wonder why you couldn't get your ass in gear in September.
And it's new right tackle, new left tackle,
right,
that have never played.
And he out there running for his life. I get what you're saying. Jeez.
I can understand not wanting to play Joe in the preseason. I can understand not wanting to play Jamar in the preseason. There are some guys that are just dudes. They're dogs. They have it. Yeah. Every once in a while that happens. There might be 1 or 2 on every team.
Yeah,
but of those other 20 to 25, hell, even 30 starters with the way everybody rotates anymore, they need to be out there.
You need to get some. You need to get that game speed. Absolutely.
I didn't
know that fact that the offensive line didn't. What?
I can pull the snap count right now too.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. It's tough. Pork Chop's saying that Santori needs to play right guard. I don't know.
I don't need to be playing shit. I was 8th string running back at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton grade school.
Oh my God.
And we had 40 kids.
Chop ain't got it all, man.
while he's looking that up, actually Pork Chop had mentioned when you come to town, are you all getting that Cincy hat tattoo together?
Let's do it.
Who, what, and what?
You and Pork Chop getting the Cincy hat tattoo.
Hey man, I got room. I got to figure out, do I got room?
You do have some tats.
Yeah.
All right, I've got the official snap count numbers for preseason this year. Jonah Williams, who is our right tackle, and he was transitioning from left to right, played in 1 game and had 11 snaps. That was his entire preseason.
Come on.
Orlando Brown, Volson, Karras, and Kappa, left tackle to right guard, combined for 0 snaps in preseason this year.
Yeah. Hey, man, they got to switch that up, man. That ain't cool.
Yeah. We've been clamoring
like
for
we
it.
said, Joe's an exception to the rules. Everybody else, man, you got to get your ass out there, man.
Yeah, they did the same thing the previous year too.
Yeah.
So
and you know what? That's probably getting the slow starts every year, man.
Yeah. And it's mind-boggling too because 2 years ago, brand new guys coming in. All new offensive line. Then, except for Jonah, then you've got the last year, right tackle, left tackle, like we already said, and these guys need to play together, and they're not able to.
It's all about getting those reps and gelling, and
well, especially when you have,
and getting different looks. So you guys, I know the offensive line got to gel together on their calls and shit, man. You need that. You just can't go out there like day one and think you got this shit handled. It don't work like that.
Right.
It doesn't. That don't add up to me, man. At least I played in all them damn near each year. I played in at least 2 of them damn preseason games, man, and that got me ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where Lee went to where they feel that ain't important to get knock the rust off and gel with your team and the scheme, but that shit ain't gonna work, man.
I think it comes from the belief that they just don't want guys getting hurt in preseason, but at the same time, if the first time you're getting hit and lathered up is week 1, your body's not ready. You're gonna get hurt.
You're not ready for no hits, man.
Right.
And then the way they set up in practice, you're not gonna be full go against your own guys all damn day.
Right.
That's not happen.
You can't hit but 1 day a week anymore in the NFL.
There you go. I'm old school. I'm the OG. I had 2 days in pass, brother. We used to go live. We used to get it in. So it's different. It's a little different now.
I remember going to training camp in Georgetown and watching and just seeing people just
Man.
maul each other.
Yeah, so it's a whole different ball game, man, and I hopefully these players will take it upon themselves, and realize, you know what, in order to get better and be sharp and be prepared on day one, man, let me get some action.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Let me get some action, get some game type, experience in preseason, and then you could bag it up and wait for the first game and go out there and do what you got to do.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll change. Hopefully,
we're all in agreement.
I would just like to see the line, because there's 3 preseason games now. All 5 of them out there for just 2 series each game, just something.
right?
Get lathered up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I don't need you out there for 4 quarters. That's ridiculous.
No, we don't want
at least something.
Yes.
At least 2 series. I agree with that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and even if you just want to hand off and punt 3 times, go for it. But like I know, Joe and Jamar are going to get that chemistry down in practice. I'm not worried about that. But I'm worried about those guys up front getting their assignments, because if you don't win the trenches, you're screwed. I don't care how good Joe is.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you got to protect that dude, man. He's that guy. So as long as he's healthy, man, sky's the limit. So at all costs, man, you got to do what you got to do to get prepared and keeping that man upright and throwing that ball precise.
Speaking of the trenches, how was it playing with Willie Anderson?
Oh shit, it was easy. Willie put shit. Hey, cover up that dude and let me go. I'm running by you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tap you on the way by. So that was easy. It was simple as that. So nah, man. Hey, Willie's a good dude, man. Great in the locker room. Great captain, man. So every time my run was called to his side, man, I had no worries. I know Willie's gonna do what he do, and give me some space to breathe and run, and shit. That's what he did.
Yeah.
I have one more, and then I know we're well past an hour at this point. But
okay.
There was a very, very short period, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, where you and Kijana got to play together.
Yeah.
What was he like? Because I mean that's one that he's almost just in Bengal lore as what could have been. Unfortunately, we know what happened.
Man,
but
toll on him. I mean, as far as he was cool as hell. I mean, from my perspective, a guy that's coming in a hunt for his job, you know what I mean?
Right.
And for him to be so cool and giving me information on what to do, man. I never forget that. He didn't have to do that. So just him as a person, he was pretty solid, man. He didn't look at it like, I'm there to take his job or anything like that. He looked at it that, you know what, I'm there to help the team win, and he took that role of, you know what, man, let me pour some knowledge into the youngster, and when it's his time, man, he be on the right path. So I appreciate that from him.
Was there ever a package that was supposed to have you and Kijana on the field at the same time?
I think they called it a jet package. It was jet.
Okay. So my dad has talked about that for the last 25 years. He said he heard there was going to be a jet package. So I'm glad you said the same thing. So I was testing you a little bit there.
I remember that shit, man.
Yes. I guess he had read, or they'd said it in a paper or the radio somewhere, that there was going to be a package with you and Kijana, and they were going to call it the jet package. And we're sitting there on the couch. He's just being funny. He's like, I'm still waiting to see that damn formation with Corey and Kijana.
Hey, man, that's too funny, man.
Corey got my daughter here.
Hello now.
Hi.
She is going to bed, so she wanted to come in here and say good night to me, but then say hi to everybody else.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Maddie. There you go.
Here's my stuffy cat.
Uh-oh.
Yep, she loves her stuffy cat, she calls it, but
Ain't
that
nothing
is
wrong with the stuffy cat.
yeah, that is Bengals legend, Corey Dillon. Can you say hi to Corey?
Hi, Corey.
Hello. How are you doing?
Good.
That's good.
All right, sweetie, I love you.
I love you.
All
Bye.
right.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Right there.
Yep.
Right
that's
there,
right.
man. You can't get too mad at anything, man.
No.
Hey, bruh. When you put it all in perspective, man, we all right.
Yes.
We all right, man.
She just walked out and said, "I just talked to Corey Dillon."
Hey, man. Hey, you see the power of conversation?
Yes.
Right. Full circle. We're back to it.
Hey, man, I'm a nice guy. I'm okay.
Absolutely.
Yes. The power conversation, Corey. You should be a motivational speaker. The power
Hey,
conversation.
Hey, I want to make a shirt. Power conversation.
Hey, Pork Chop, you're watching this, Pork Chop. Make it
Hey,
later
long
and-
as Pork Chop ain't motherfucking me no more, we're good, brother. We are good.
Man,
that was too funny, man. It was too funny.
He's got merchandise with my face slapped on it. Like
No.
yeah,
Yes.
he got fucking water bottles with my face on it.
Oh, Chop is something else, man.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
wild.
shit.
Look. Here he is. He said, "I got you."
Yeah, he's got you.
Power conversation. Corey Dillon.
Oh, man, you guys are too much, man. Too
Yeah.
much.
Hey,
Thank you so much, Corey.
Absolutely. We
No
appreciate
problem,
it.
my man. Anytime, fellas. Anytime.
Yes, and
Anytime.
we have been going for an hour and 21 minutes. Normally,
Oh,
we try to
man.
keep it to an hour, but there have been a ton of people in here watching. We've seen the numbers coming across the screen, and a bunch of people in the chat. Thanks to everybody, especially you,
thanks.
Corey, for coming in here and just being a dude and being a guy that's just chatting with us, and we love it.
Hey, man, sometimes I can't shut the hell up either. So I got a motor mouth, man. Once you get me started, man, I can't stop, man. Can't stop.
And so many people have been saying thank you, Corey, and Ring of Honor.
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
To all the fans out there, man, I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
I'd say it's just a matter of time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hope
There-
so.
I know a gentleman in the little diagonal from me. He's already been talking to me about my my votes for for the Ring of Honor, because season ticket holders do get 2 votes. So
Sam, hey man, persuade, man. You gotta help.
So here's
talk nice to me, Corey. No.
No, I'm not an official season ticket holder or anything, Corey, but James might help me out here. And I told James, make sure you write Corey. Make sure it's Corey. Corey. Vote twice if you have to.
Hey, Savage, stay in his ear the whole year, bro.
Oh, dude, that's going to be a daily text from me every single day. I'm going to have my phone automatically say, Corey, Ring of
There
Honor.
it is. I mean, hit that damn thing a million times if you have to.
It'll just say Corey ROH, and I'll just get that every morning at 6:00.
Absolutely,
man. Savage, man, hey, that's what hey, good dude, man. Love you, brother. I love you.
Love you, hey, Corey, dude. This has just been such a blessing coming on all these shows, man. I mean, we just can't thank you enough.
Corey or Greg, you have to do the truffle shuffle.
Oh no, we ain't doing that. We're not going to be doing any of that. I don't want to scare Corey off. We ain't be doing any of that.
Hey man, hey, truffle what?
All right, so Corey, I told you I was a big fan of Yossi Vosh and all that and stuff, and he scored 2 touchdowns in the game. And this was a very freezing Cincinnati game. And Corey, I took my shirt off. They're all looking at me like, Greg, you got to do it. And I'm like, you know what? I did it and all that and stuff. Later on,
brother, I told you no more betting in 2024. I seen that on Twitter, man. Keep your shirt on until you
No, but Corey, I was shivering on my couch and all that and stuff. I had to chill. So I'm like, I wonder if that had to do something with me taking my shirt off. And this little voice inside me said, Greg, was it worth it? I'm like, 100% it was.
So here's the deal. A little side story on that. We had always joked with Greg about his love affair for Yoshivas. And my wife kind of knew about his deep affection for this wide receiver. So my wife has season tickets with me. We're all sitting in the same row. and he had scored the first one. And we'd always said if he scores 2, the shirt's coming off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're getting close. Yoshi runs in for whatever position package he's in, and he catches it. And my wife's like, "Yay, Yoshi!" And I was like, "Look at Greg." And she was like, "What?" Looks down the row, and Greg's just sitting there half naked in the stands.
Dude. No,
My
hey,
wife was like, "What is happening?"
I'm trying to find it.
I paid off the bet, Corey. I paid off the bet. They're all looking like, Greg, you had to do it. I'm like, you know what? Screw this.
Hey, I seen that picture.
He's seen it.
I said, "Oh Lord, have mercy! What's going on here?"
You cannot say I'm not committed or anything. Yeah.
Oh wow. Hey, well, hey, bet good. You paid your bet.
I've got an idea of how to end the show.
Okay.
Greg. Okay, we do a thing on here and it's called Big Savage goes savage mode.
James, your mom's unhinged in the comment section.
Yeah, mom is saying not to brag, but she made me is what she's saying. So that's awesome. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate you.
No, hey, Corey, if you ever
and my sister said block her ASAP. that's my family. But Greg does this thing and he gets us fired up for the upcoming game. Well, Greg is going to get us fired up for a fictitious game of Corey Dillon running for 278 yards to break a record.
Okay, so I have to be announced,
but we didn't have this back then. You have 10 seconds, Greg, when I start the video, and then we're going to end it. So, Greg, you know what to do. Corey, thank you so much.
Take us home.
Just sit back and enjoy it, Corey.
I appreciate you, fellas.
You ready for this, Greg?
Let's do this.
All right. Oh, hold on. We got to get him.
Oh,
we got to get him right here. All right.
That's my trash you the maid, so you bagged him. I'm a savage. Yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty.
Corey Dillon has the ball. He's running! You hear that?